All right, thank you for joining. Today we'll go over Solana USDT on the Binance chart. So let's see. To start off, we can see here, based on the last video, I believe I did not draw this monthly demand zone here. As you can see, this demand zone is being respected quite well, actually, even though it's been tested once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. It's been respected quite well. We have this fixed range volume profile tool pulled for the range right here. All right. What's going on here? Yeah, I don't know what's really going on, but I don't know where that went. Anyway, so this is the overall range. And we can see here that we are holding this $115 level pretty well. So what do I think will happen next? Well, keep in mind, this is the weekly time frame, and overall, the entire crypto market, specifically Solana, has been very bearish the past, looks like, month and a half, right? So since September 15th, and we made this pivot high, we've just been making lower lows and lower highs, right? Pretty much one time framing. So all of the previous week's highs have been defended for the most part, or if it is broken, it's like slightly taken, right? Just to pull some liquidity for anyone that's been short with their stops above the previous high. Price probably just went up there, saw a lot of orders, took it out, came back down, opened, did the same thing, came up, took some more orders, sold off some more, which also just led into that crash that happened, looks like 2 weeks ago now. So where we're at right now, if you look at the overall range, we just got accepted into the overall current range value area high, right? So about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we were accepted. Last week, we tried to move above, failed, came back down, and we're still hanging out below the value area high, which just leads me to believe that there's a very high probability when it comes to Solana to move down to the point of control. So that's the area where the most volume has been traded since March, right? So a lot of data showing that the fair value for Solana pretty much year to date is around 146. And that's actually since March 2024. So it's a very long time, not year to date. So in basically a year and a half, the fair value for Solana seems to be at around $145. Right now, it's slightly on the expensive end. Let me actually go ahead and put a different one on here. This way it just extends a little bit more. But yeah, so the point of control, 145, that's where I think we're targeting. The only good thing is the past 2 weeks, we are still one time framing to the upside, right? So 2 weeks ago, as you can see here, this low was never taken out. Last week, that low was never taken out. We came down, got very close, and we are now currently pushing to the upside. Will we break this $212 high from last week? It seems pretty unlikely. Selling pressure is still pretty strong. If we go into the daily does look like it's found some sort of support, right? This is technically a daily demand zone. Not the best, but kind of like a daily order block, which happened right here. Price came down, tested it on that dump that happened 2 weeks ago, and we're just consolidating right above. But in my opinion, I believe we will get another move to the downside, right? We've tried to break above this level a few times, and we just kept on failing it. Yeah, it just seems like there's more demand to the downside. If we're looking at the daily, there's no massive buying pressure that happened. Besides right here, you can see a pretty big daily green candle, but that level's already been tested multiple times. So in my opinion, if we do start to fail these levels, the point of control is the only level I could see where it's going to hold up quite well, right? And if these levels start to fail, And I'm expecting a full value rotation to the downside, at least back down to around $120, possibly even back to this demand zone, the monthly demand as well. So locally on the daily time frame, definitely looking a little bearish. We broke this upward trend, back tested it. This was actually a demand which flipped into supply, as you can see here. All right, 4-hour demand flipped into supply, back tested, failed, came back down and making higher lows, but it's not looking too strong. That wasn't even 4-hour, that was actually a daily demand. All right, so a little bit off today, but that's all right. So now let's look at the 4-hour time frame, zooming in a little bit more. Yeah, these lows are just being respected, building liquidity. Like I said, I think it's going to roll over to the downside. If not, then the next area of resistance is going to be this area right here, right, where we had this pretty big sell side pressure. Also, even if you didn't want to put a box, you can just draw a support line, because as you can see here, that really is just the line that is holding everything up. So price most likely can pump up, test this one more time, sweep the liquidity of these highs before coming down. Also, that would be testing the the trend line, which was there before, right? So I could see that happening. Seems like a more logical price action movement over the next few days. And then, yeah, just aim for those $145 levels, which would be about 25% away. And if we get continuation to the downside, even more, full value rotation of the range, you're looking at another 34% drop to the downside. Now, if buyers do step in and we push up, we do have this downwards trend right here, which is acting as resistance, right? And it looks like it's lining up with this too as well. And this also looks like we might be lining up with a golden pocket. Right, so yeah, look at that. So definitely an area I would be interested in going short if we get a push up to the upside. Just a lot of reasons why to stay short here. A lot of weakness in the chart, spanning back since September 18th, about a month. So just a month of weakness, right? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Might get a higher high right here, come down, maybe hold this level, creating a higher low one more time before finally breaking this downtrend. So maybe price comes down, holds this level before actually breaking this downtrend and moving higher, right? Obviously, it might not go quite as well, but I can see something like that happening too as well. But like I said before, if not, then yes, I would be expecting price to make its way to the downside, right? So that is pretty much it with Solana, not rocket science. We want to see price move up to around $210 to look for short entries to trade it back down to the point of control, or we want to see price move down from here to the point of control or the value area low, which sits at around $125, so we can get into some longs to the upside, hoping that the monthly demand, the 1 year long demand zone, holds up, right? So in my opinion, right, a good area to buy Solana comes in at $120 if we get there. If not, one of the next best areas based on 1 year's price action data would be fair value at 145, right? So fair value just means the chances of you becoming profitable is a lot higher at some point, instead of buying up here at the value area high, right? And then if you buy at the value area low, the chances increase even more for you to become profitable, right? It's just an auction. The entire market is just an auction. It's the best way to think about it. I'm sure you've heard of car auctions. I'm sure you go on eBay, you see them auctioning off maybe Pokemon cards or shoes, clothes, whatever it is. You have buyers and you have sellers. You have things, you have prices that people want to buy at and prices that people want to sell at, right? So if there's not enough sellers, price moves down. No, if there's not enough buyers, price moves down. And if there's not enough sellers and more buyers, price just moves up because the demand is there, right? So interesting thing to think about. I think it's just okay to stay on a daily or 4 hour. Yeah, and we're just going to see how this plays out in the next few days here or weeks. Like and subscribe. Thank you for joining. And don't forget to follow me on X and leave a comment below of a project you'd like to see me chart. Take care.